My name is Alicia Kirschenheiter. I came to the River Fund, almost 8 years ago now, and I was introduced to the River Fund by my partner, who works for an animal hospital, runs an animal hospital in Westchester. The owner was affiliated with the River Fund, knew Durga, and they decided they were going to do a Christmas event with them, and it is an event. And I came and I saw it and I watched it and I immediately was in love with it. And since then I volunteered and most recently became a board member. The River Fund is a different pantry to me because of the grassroots effort that created it. It really started from the bottom up. It started from one person. And that originator has really sort of trickled down into then being Durga. And obviously for people who have never met him, he is a force to be reckoned with all by himself. And he really has grown it to meet the needs of the community as they ever grow, because the numbers never go down, they go up. I think last year it was 80,000 meals, for this community, which is not a tremendous community per se, if you look at numbers wise, but the need is ever growing. And he's done it all by himself sometimes. He's done it with him and one other volunteer, and I love the fact that it's really been from bottom up and not organization. To stay involved with the River Fund is, first off, I've been there and I've seen the people's faces, when you help them, and distinctly I can remember the first time I did this, and at the time we were at a group home on the Coney Island Brooklyn Boardwalk. Happens to right be off the side, and it's almost like the group home that time forgot. And we brought them food and we brought them Christmas presents, and I worked the end of the line with the Christmas presents, and I will never ever forget this. A lady came and sweet, and literally people there for mental reasons, physical reasons, emotional reasons, but it's a government-run program. And on Saturdays, I believe it's owned by Hasidic Jews, so they feed very limited amounts of food, and literally these are people, families have kind of forgot them and they're off on the side. And we didn't have anything special. We had hats and scarves that we had donated, and I handed this lady a hat and a scarf and a pair of gloves, and she just looked at me and she looked up at me and said to me, "Thank you so much, because you're the only people who come here. God bless you," and hugged me. From that moment, I was sold. And so for me, it's not that far of a cry to be on that side of the side of the line. I didn't come from a rich background or wealthy background, middle income family. And to see who's on the other side of the line when you're handing out pantry bags, it's not that far of a cry from where you could be. That, and I truly love the determination of the executor, who's Durga, and Uma, who has really put it together. I mean, they are never stop, never accept no, and just keep going, even when they don't have the funds or the food to keep going. That emotional and spiritual support is always there. The number one thing the River Fund needs is a bigger place. I think because they bring such a presence to this community, and the things that Durga has been able to do and the River Fund has been able to do with the space that we have is outstanding, phenomenal, hands down. I wouldn't believe it if I couldn't see it. To take this, at one point the River Fund was his mother's home. When his mother passed, Durga bought it, renovated. I think he has made the most out of every single space that he possibly can here. He's changed the garage from a one-story, one-car garage to a two-story pantry, and the line goes around the block. And that's a couple of days a week and different programs. So I think going forth, in order to really continue to make such an impact on the communities he has, they need a bigger place. We need a bigger place. Something where I know he has so many programs, and the River Fund wants to be able to address people both from food pantry standpoint, from spiritual background, from nutrition, from wellness, working with kids. It's so limiting to do that on this space, even though we've really done a lot with the space. That I think anything helps. You're talking about people, you're talking about giving things to people who have stood on a line some days for 4 hours in a snowstorm to get a bag of pantry, which consists of potentially beans, rice, dry goods, if we're lucky, sometimes hair care products. We do the best we can with fresh fruits and vegetables. But I've been there on the coldest day out on the Brooklyn Boardwalk in Coney Island for Christmas. And when I tell you to have somebody stand in ice and snow for 6 hours to get minimal stuff, if we're lucky during the week, we're able to do things like coats and blankets and things like that. $5, $10, that means all the world to them, because you know what, that's one more blanket maybe we can give them, or that's one more coat, or potentially it's one more pantry bag we can give them. I think people don't necessarily understand how much their $5 actually does give them, or it does actually make a difference. When we think, $5 is a cup of coffee at Starbucks, to somebody who has nothing, $5 is the world sometimes. So I would tell anybody to, give from your heart. If you can't give monetarily, there's always volunteer opportunities. There are putting us in contact with people who potentially could give products, could give goods, and get donations, personal care products, food products, of course, clothing, healthcare, anything, I think we're willing to work with it.